All right, I got people in my life who I consider friends, right, to varying degrees. But what can I do to be a better friend? Let me give you three things that I think each one of us can do to be better friends to those guys we have in our lives. Starting right now. Hey everybody, my name is Nate Warnock. This is Testosterone Tuesday. This is a show I get to do on the Marriage by Design channel every Tuesday, where we take a look at what the Bible says about masculinity and what we can do to better live out our calling as men of God. This month we're taking a look at friendship. What does it look like to have close, intimate friendships in our lives? Is it important? Are there examples in the Bible? You can go back to week 1 and see us talk about that. What I wanted to end on this month was to talk about how we can be a better friend, right? And of the three things that I'm going to submit to you over the next 10 minutes or so, I would say 2 of them have been things that I have learned from close friends that I have in my life about things that we can do to be better friends. So let's dive right on in. First thing that we can do, I believe, in order for us to be better friends is to be better pursuers of friendship. Right, we talked a little bit in week 1 that one of the things Jesus was so inspirational for with regards to friendship was that he was an inviter. Right, he invited other people into friendship with them. And you see all throughout his disciples, right, he sought them out and invited them into relationship with him. But I'm not just talking about inviting. I'm talking about the other thing Jesus did really well, which was continued to pursue relationship with them. Right? We should be men who not only do we have friends and acquaintances and people in our lives, but we pursue deeper relationship with those guys we have in our life. Right now might not be every single one, right? Certainly there are going to be guys where you get around them and you're like, and I'm certain there are guys that have been around me that came to this conclusion where they just go, yeah, I like that dude. He's a good guy, but I don't know that we're going to have a deep relationship. Cool, great. Right, it takes all types, right? The Lord brings all different kinds of people into our sphere of influence. It's not his design that every single one of the people he brings into our life would have a deep, intimate relationship with. Right, but for us to be pursuers of those where we feel like, yeah, I could have a deeper relationship with this person, we need to take responsibility for being pursuers of them. And that starts partly by being just frank with yourself about the quality of friends you want to have. Right? I mean, I'm sure, are people you can think of right now in your life where you're like, yeah, I don't need to have a deep relationship with that person because that's going to get me down a road I don't want to go down. Right? Does that mean you should never talk to that person or return their text or calls because they're a heathen? No. Right? I mean, the Lord did not just have friendships with quote-unquote godly people. Right? The Lord, infamously with the Pharisees, went to the homes of prostitutes and tax collectors to pursue relationship with them. Why? Because he was about to backslide? No, because as he said, the healthy don't need a doctor. Right? The sick need a doctor. And so he went to pursue relationship with them. We should be pursuing relationship with people in our lives that don't have a relationship with the Lord. But you do not see those people in the Lord's close inner circle of friends. The people who really had influence with him and who he had the most influence over as well. He didn't allow those people into that circle. Right? Because he recognized what we need to recognize, which is not all friends are the same, and we need to be honest with ourselves about the people we allow into our inner circle that really will have impact on our lives. Which direction are they impacting us? Are they impacting us to be better husbands, to be better parents, to be better employees, to be better followers of the Lord, or are they pushing us the other direction? You gotta be honest with yourself. Right? There are a lot of cool people out there, people I'd love to hang around with that I don't hang around with as much because of my background and the things that I know I struggled with in the past. And I just don't want to be around someone that's commenting a ton about that girl that just walked by, or, how about that thing that person's looking at online or whatever, because I know I need to be I need to safeguard that area of my life so I'm not sliding down into that. And I just frankly don't trust myself, right, to allow those people a lot of influence over my life. So be careful about the people that you pursue, but as you identify people the Lord's brought into your life who do fit that bill of pushing you to be a better man, pushing you in your relationship with your spouse, people you just like hanging around, right? You pursue them. Don't sit around and just wait for them to pursue you. We can be a better friend by pursuing them. So the first thing is be a pursuer. The second thing that we can do to be a better friend is be available. I mean, this goes a little bit into what we talked about last week with prioritizing friendships. We need to be available for our friends, right? That means not only pursuing that relationship and wanting to do something with them, but being available to take a phone call from them when they just need to bounce something by you, right? This is a big one in today's world. Respond when they send you a text message, right? This is like one of those ridiculous first world things that I think is super hurtful. Someone sends you a text message, you never respond, right? Respond, right? Even if you just respond and say, hey, got this, I'm in a meeting, I'll get back to you, or got this, having dinner, I'll get back to you, or just being sure to respond later. If you don't have your phone on you during dinner time, which don't, right? Put your phone away, be engaged in your family at dinner time. But when you get back to that, even if you don't have time to send a long thing right then, just send them a message. Here's another thing I've learned from the head pastor of our church that he's amazing at, and that we should all be, that I think is an amazing life hack for texting. When someone texts you, text them back with a video clip, right? Of just you speaking whatever you wanted to send them back in a text. Or it can be a 10-second video where you just say something to them. And on most phones, it's like 2 button pushes and you're taping a video to send back to them. They get to see your face. They get to hear your voice inflection, all those important nonverbals that we deal with in communication. They get to see all those, right? And it sends it right to their text message, their phone, and then they can see it. So respond with a video. That's a little life hack there from our pastor. Thank you for being a leader in that way. But be available, right? That also means sacrificially, right? There's going to be times when, we've all had that buddy, right? That he's about to move. And he's moving from the 3rd floor of his current apartment building to the 3rd floor of an apartment building across town. And he wants to know if you can help, right? Make yourself available for that, right? Even if you got other stuff going on, do the best you can to be able to pursue him in that way by making yourself available. In order to have close, intimate friendships, we've got to build up that moral authority, that foundation of just intimacy in people's lives. And I know as guys, we want to shy away from that word, but you're building it. Right? I mean, it doesn't matter if you call it intimacy or whatever you want to call it, but showing up at the same time to the gym every day and spotting that one guy in the gym that you've kind of struck up a little bit of a friendship and relationship with, sorry to burst it to you, but you're building up intimacy with him. That's what's happening, right? That's how relationships work. And so as we build that up, we want to be intentional about building it up, and that takes making yourself available, being able to sacrificially love on those other guys in your lives so that then you can continue to build that relationship with them. So be a pursuer, be available, and then the last one that I just want to hit on real quick is be flexible. This is one that my best friend shared with me early on. In fact, before he and I even really had a relationship, we were on a ski trip and he was talking about this. And it really has stuck with me over time. And what he mentioned was that it's frustrating to him when there are people in his life who only want to hang out with him if it's on their terms, right? Or doing the thing they like to do, right? So maybe you've had a friend in your life that was a big golfer. And so he's calling you and he wants to go golfing, or you call him, and as long as you call him and want to go golfing, he's in, right? It doesn't matter what day, what time of day, it doesn't matter, he's in, right? But if you call him and say, hey, let's go whatever. Or let's go watch a movie. Let's go see that new movie that came out. And he's like, I gotta shave. Right? I mean, and it gets shady, right? When you want to do something other than whatever that person wants to do. Man, I find this a lot in guy relationships. And maybe it's not as ridiculous as that example I just gave. But, there are guys where it's like they want to go do sports, right? Or they want to go do, camping or that kind of thing. But to just like sit and hang out and talk, like, it's isn't really what we do. Right? So be flexible, right? And I totally get what he was saying now that I've, had more experience with, building my own friendships. And it always is in the back of my mind to pursue the friends that I have, pursue them on their terms, or be willing to do things they want to do instead of just the things that I like to do. It's fun to do the things you like to do, but it's meaningful and impactful to make sure you're taking part in what your guy friends are doing that aren't in your immediate interests as well. Guys, those are the 3 things that I think we can focus in on to be better friends, to grow those relationships that we have. Be a pursuer, right? Those close friendships that you have, pursue those guys. Pursue relationship with them. Doesn't just mean getting together, right? It means thinking about them, shooting them a text message, praying for them when you do your prayer life. That the Lord would build them up, that the Lord would give you insight into their lives, that you could build them up. Be a pursuer. Second thing, be available. Right? Be there for them. It's a simple thing, right? Simple in concept, can be difficult when we all have so many things going on in our lives. But being committed to being available for your friends, critical to being a better friend. And also be flexible, right? Don't just be interested in a friendship on your terms, but be interested in a friendship on their terms as well. You do those 3 things, your friendships will really hit the gas and grow over time. Guys, thanks so much for joining me. Really appreciate you being here. Remember, it just takes balls to be a guy, but to be a true man takes wisdom and discernment from the Lord. Have a great week.
Hey, thanks for joining us on Marriage by Design. If you were impacted by this video, like it by hitting the thumbs up below. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and once you subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can be notified when new episodes release.
Excellent. Also, one of the huge pillars of our show is interactivity between us and you. So we would love you to comment down in the comments below if you have thoughts about this video, or if you have questions or other things you'd like to see considered in the future. In addition, if you'd like, you can email us. That's marriagebydesignpodcast@gmail.com. We're also on Instagram @marriagebydesignpodcast, or you can find us on Facebook by searching Marriage by Design Podcast. Finally, if you want to, you can tweet at us. We do have a Twitter account that is @MarriageXDesign. Thanks, and have a great day.